Hey everybody, this is Mike with Accounting for Cycling. Today we will be, ripping this tab here to see if there's a box inside the box. Microsoft's new 13-inch Surface laptop. Hey, get that out of the way. Keeps it nice and eco-friendly. Nice little paper tab here. Make sure there's nothing on the other side. Look at that. Beautiful. And here is the laptop. All paper, very nice and eco-friendly. This is just documents as it shows. Your USB-C to USB-C cable. This would be your power brick, complete with the easy-to-swap adapter for international purposes. And since I'm here in the great state of Wisconsin, the US adapter for the United States and North America. And I think that's just empty. So, next what I'll do is try and salvage paper as much as possible. We've got two USB-C ports, one USB-A, and a headphone jack. And I believe these are both Thunderbolt 4/USB 4 with power delivery up to, I think this is a 45-watt laptop. And see if I can open it with just one finger. Most of the way, if we were on a tabletop, it would. There she is. Turns right on. Nice feeling keys. Next, what I'll do is I'll test out, get set up, and kind of check back in after we get a few minutes with it. Kind of already did this. This has already got now at least a couple of days of use on it. The staple actually is pretty good grip, so it's not like it's... So if you grab it from the sides, you can get it. So if you grab it from the sides, it opens up pretty well. You can see it kind of lifts up and slaps a little bit. But the all-aluminum chassis keeps it nice, cool, sturdy, stable, very minimal deck flex. So you can see here, very, there's obviously some deck flex here because there's a little bit of room for airflow and breathing between the chipset. I also haven't opened this up yet. My toolkit's sitting up there. But the typing experience, very, very nice. Great experience with the Snapdragon X Plus chipset. Obviously, Copilot Plus, I've been a huge fan of this so far. My significant other has been kind of the daily driver of this laptop so far, and she's been loving it. And, for work, she uses Windows, but as her primary laptop, she's been a lifelong MacBook user. So the look, the design, let's be honest. Microsoft definitely took some liberties here. Nobody's kidding about that. But it's still a beautifully designed device. You can tell from some the fingerprints here, some of the kind of finger gunk it's been eaten with, it's been used. She's an attorney by trade. She doesn't use this for her primary job, but typing up some just kind of fun stuff. It's got some dots, pretzel dust in it. She's really been trying to put the time into it, and instead of doom scrolling on her phone, she can do what we Windows folks have been able to do for quite some time. Doom scroll on our computers. The touchscreen is very responsive. That's nice. So, next steps for me is just kind of like putting it through its paces. Turns out you can't use some of my favorites. So one of the big ones that doesn't work, Cinebench. Yeah, Cinebench. Obviously, it's an x86 program. I should have known that right from the start. It's not an x86 processor in here. It just kind of emulates it. Cinebench was able to weed that out immediately, that this was not an x86 device and that it was just emulating Windows x86. So, yeah, that didn't work. I tried to run it and it was like, wrong. Your processor sucks. Try again. So we'll have to try something else. Maybe there's a different version, but TBD. So you'll see those results probably in, maybe I'll try and do that as a transition. I'll also open it up and we'll check out the guts too. I'm sure it's just basically like a cell phone. It's just battery and then like 4 chips. Requires a CPU with AVX2 instruction support, and this apparently does not. Wheel. 16 hours, 23 minutes, 48 seconds. We're still going. 22%. All right, so we did a battery rundown test, which should have been right around 20 hours. 24 hours. It's a lot of battery. YouTube settings were 1080p 60. It was just streaming. Clear out. Turn this on. That background noise in the office environment or even a home office environment. Windows to low, offering you very secure audio is pretty good. This is the same. It's very similar to Face ID on an iPhone. 50% brightness. Yeah, this laptop is designed to meet built. Yeah, it's good. Really good color. Looks nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Whoa, Venmo. But yeah, good coloring, especially for not being an OLED. All right. And got the latest Surface laptop, which I think it's the technically Surface Laptop 7, model 2095. You can see very clean bottom, very difficult to figure out where you would actually pull screws out from, and probably shouldn't have clipped my fingernails before trying to do this. But just pull these out, and little rubber feet hide the screws. Smaller, a little bit smaller now, 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 a little bit smaller now. There we go. See, that's why I need to have the Super iFixit toolkit. Ooh, it's just like the game Don't Like Daddy. Or Operation, not Don't Like Daddy. There it goes. So the screws are magnetic. So that makes it easy. And then also, you can kind of see, the chassis is pretty durable, but there are definitely a couple of scratches here. Just from everyday use. Yeah, it happens. So I've got a corner here, and this seems to be the always the toughest part, mostly because it's the most nerve-wracking. I was trying to figure out which direction the pins are going and if you've gotten all the screws or not. Well, also with these all aluminum casings, you don't want to bend, break, snap, turn, twist. And definitely too with the glass track pads, same thing. So let's be gentle, but with enough force to be able to get in. This might just be a case of enough to look under the hood, but without getting into the hood. Because Microsoft has blessed us with a top removable keyboard. And I did have a hunch that it was going to be a top deck keyboard and access. Just with the 4 recessed screws. So basically the easiest way to get in is don't use a non-Phillips screw head. If you can, or if you have one, I think we did lose one there. Get something a little bigger, or like a hex bit, and just kind of press out gently against the deck until you start hearing the clips pop, because there's still a good number of them on there. There's magnets. Gotta love those. But there's the quite large battery. Oh, wow. Cool. It is nice, though. It tells you 9 of these 5, I forget what the IP stands for, but these little star bits. So 5 of those hold down the battery. So you can replace that. That's nice. And looks like 3 of them hold down the battery cable. That's less nice. Normally, if you are going to be poking around in here, you'd kind of want to disconnect the battery, at least if you're going to be doing that for any extended period of time. I am grounded, by the way, with a anti-static or an anti-static cable. I'm still not going to try and poke around in anything. We have our 256 gig solid state here. It is not an NVMe SSD, and it does look too like it is user upgradable. So that's kind of cool. And this is probably going to be our Snapdragon chip here, covered with a pretty nice heat shield. We're not going to try to remove the heat shield just because it makes sense not to. It looks like it's glued in place and got some like cool metal crimping on there, and we're not going to uncrimp that. We are going to see what this does, and it's got the little Windows logo on it too, so that's cool. Showing the 256 gigabytes. I think this is more for them to be like, oh, you upgraded it yourself. Ho ho ho. There we go. Technically user upgradable storage. And it's got a little thermal pad on the bottom with an imprint. Cool. Let's just pop that right back in. That is the importance of doing these teardowns, because I don't believe anywhere on Microsoft's website did they say that you could upgrade the storage. Now, of course, with it being a Snapdragon mobile chip and just kind of a more general purpose, ultralight, ultra battery performance based focused computer, it does not have expandable RAM. That's just, with something this thin, light, you're not going to get that. Some gaming laptops still have that. Honestly, if it's a gaming focused laptop, it should still have that. You should sacrifice that ever so slight bit of thickness for the ability to upgrade that. The speakers, as you can see from this one already having popped out, you can actually pop those out and replace them if you can find the parts. Not really something you need to do. The fan, surprisingly quite large for really the system it's in. I've never really experienced any situation where it even got warm. Did you? No. Daily user of it. My better half, she's the one who actually uses it, also has not really experienced any kind of heat at all from it. Really, it's a very silent, very quiet machine. The fan's probably overkill if it even runs. I'd be kind of surprised. Same with this heat pipe here. That's pretty beastly. The whole thing is kind of overbuilt for a Snapdragon chip, which is not a bad thing. With the way that ARM on Windows has performed, at least with our experience with this device, it's great if you don't need something that is more powerful. If you do need something more powerful, then you step up. You get the Intel or AMD, whatever offerings they have that aren't going to melt themselves, that fit your needs with the memory storage and graphics processing. It's going to likely cost you more, get louder, and have lower battery life. Otherwise, something like this and a lot of the other Windows on ARM, it's competing more with some of the Apple M series MacBooks. It's going to be trying to go after them more in the price point, the look, the feel, the performance, and then also still being able to use all of your Windows-based systems, legacy and future-focused, and then also some of the things that have traditionally been run in emulators. With the Snapdragon, you're just looking for a premium computer with great battery life, solid name behind it, better, more premium materials to it versus just kind of a chonky plastic thing that looks like the Chromebook that either you or your kid or grandkid or students had in school, that was kind of forced upon them because they were more or less given away because, well, they're cheap. Still something that needs to be worked on with this. It's figuring out the lip to open the screen. But now, moment of truth. There. Moment of truth. Just need to be plugged back in. And it turns out. But yeah, so you get the more premium materials. Definitely more premium, higher resolution screen, 3x2, which is incredible for doing more contract type stuff. So makes for an excellent college machine, excellent for just kind of a general all-around system. Plus the incredible battery life and incredible standby battery life. It's just all around great. If you buy it for $899, you won't be disappointed in your decision. If you find it on sale, you will be even happier. So yeah, Microsoft Surface laptop. It's a good one. Check it out. I'll have links down in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in today and have a wonderful rest of your day.